Okay. Me too.
Okay, both players kept 7. Sean will start us off with a Tundra. Force to fill cracks a flooded strand. Oh boy. You can almost feel the control. Both players have control over everything right now. Is it control or is it prison, chat?
Sure.
Oh, it's a blue deck, so it's control, right?
I'll keep on.
Control isn't viable. All right, there's a ponder resolving. Half the show, if you're new around here, half the show is just making fun of things Magic players say that usually borderline make no sense. Wasteland. Okay, wasn't expecting that. Tundra gets blown up. Another flooded strand for Force of Fill.
And then up. Basically, yes. Name a card before you reveal, and then you reveal, and then you discard all copies of the card.
18, sorry.
That was an Odawara dropped onto the board for Sean. Force of Fill looks for a Tundra. Richard Pizza says, I see a classy person here with white border wastelands. There's going to be some interesting things coming in on both sides as far as cards being altered and that kind of stuff. So keep an eye out. I don't know if the people of the chat and the people of the YouTube comments are ready for what they're about to witness in this match.
Floating red.
Raise your hand if you're ready. Setting up cameras for this round at the LGS, I saw Phil was playing Sean, and I said, I don't know if these people are going to be ready for this one. Here's a brainstorm.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're going to watch this match, and then we're going to have to end the stream. I don't think anybody's going to be able to recover after this one. All right, brainstorm, then nothing else. Not looking good for Sean, I guess. Predict.
Yeah.
It gets spell pierced. Okay. What year is it? Plane cycling. Timeless Dragon. I still can't believe they brought back the plane cycling mechanic. Island cycling, swamp cycling, we can understand. And they brought back Eternalize. Oh boy.
And the other parts
LED.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to cycle the Lorien Revealed.
Yeah, Island cycling, Lorien revealed. Island cycling makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Richard and Pizza wondering if they could bring back Planeswalkers, but you have to pay attention to the way it's spelled to get the joke. Mr. Varga is here.
That's going to be discarded.
I mean, bring back Land Walk. Come on.
Sacrificing this means I discard my card. This is getting discarded.
I'm sorry.
Okay, counterbalance for Force of Fill. It's getting spell pierced.
But you have no cards in here.
That was
No.
Stand still. That resolves. Stand still, everybody.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's good. Cycle Lorien Revealed.
casting Echo still count for.
Yeah.
We both shuffle up Brady and Library and draw something.
Just going to trigger.
Yes.
Mystic Sanctuary for Phil. What are we looking for? Brainstorm goes back on top.
Oh, like
Hopefully I get a good one because I can't.
Okay, nothing for Sean here. Sean maybe was hoping to eternalize that Timeless Dragon. That didn't happen.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, found the land, still didn't eternalize.
I'm sorry, do you have dice? I messed up.
Oh, good.
Phil casts Deploy on end step. That'll trigger the standstill. And Phil looking to make 2 Thopters and gain 2 life potentially.
Pass? Sure.
You have 10 cards in hand now? No.
So Phil resolved the deploy, 2 Thopters.
So I gain 2 off the effect, and then I'll get another.
Yeah. Minus 0.
21. Is that right? Yeah.
Swords on the second Thopter.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm at 17, and you get.
Brainstorm for Phil now. Force of Phil. Broke that standstill basically immediately with deploy. Now both players have no non-land permanents. Here's Merchant Scroll. Interesting.
That was a very good draw.
Recently altered Merchant Scroll by one of our local friends, Andrea. That is Brain Surge found by Force of Phil.
For that, I'll cast Force of Will, exiling base.
Response. Sword.
Okay, that's fine. So I lose a life, but then I gain a life.
Mystic Sanctuary. Looks like Predict will be going back on top. Pass the turn back to Sean. Other than Timeless Dragon, I'm very curious what the win cons are for Sean in this deck. Wasteland on Tundra. It's blown up.
Green.
I'll need to use the limited predict to target myself.
Cards in hand.
5.
Sure.
And then this predict.
No. 19.
Here's Teferi, the Time Raveler.
Cards. 6.
It could be quite disruptive here. It's likely Phil will have to deal with this. Teferi will minus draw a card. It resolved.
Can I borrow a die?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sure.
Came on prepared.
Cast Bridge.
Yeah.
Okay, now a Brainstorm for Phil. A die was borrowed. Very nice. See, you know, like people at the LGS just lending out dice. It's all one big happy family. Everybody's so nice.
Predict target myself. Source posture.
I would have said no, to be honest. Bring your own freaking dice.
Combat.
15.
All right, a ponder for Phil. We're drawing cards. We're looking at cards. It's all exciting.
Sure. Non-creature, right?
Yeah.
Non-creature, non-land.
What about the play pattern of brainstorms and ponders and just like doing nothing? What about that play pattern? Mystic Sanctuary.
And then I'll pass it.
Merchant Scroll.
Merchant Scroll goes back on top.
Your lightning bolt.
Sometimes I'm honestly not even sure if I'm trolling or if I'm being for real. Like, I don't even know what I'm thinking. Monka, Monka, thank you for the resub. 58 months for Monka. That's a long time, Monka T.
36. Sure. And then you can go to your draw.
Teferi ticks up to 2. Teferi. Oh boy. Another Tundra for Sean. Another Standstill for Sean. Teferi is on the battlefield, so can't react. Merchant Scroll gets drawn. Let's see if Phil cracks this thing immediately. It looks like that's potentially going to be the plan here. Lorien revealed gets island cycled. Volcanic Island is found. Are we about to see a prismatic ending?
Let's cast Prismatic Ending targeting.
Okay, now Sean draws a bunch of cards. Standstill is cracked. Teferi has been the target of prismatic ending. Looks like Sean's thinking about responding to that. Magic Ads, thank you for the gift sub. 102 now on the channel. Force pitching. Ooh, I didn't see what that other card was, but it looks like prismatic ending is countered. Teferi successfully protected this time. One attempt at Teferi is a failure. Teferi takes up to 3. Still on the board.
Bounce spell. Force of will. Lightning.
Wasteland on Tundra, alright. I don't know if Phil has another white mana available. It's possible it might have been better to go after Volk. Yeah, Phil had the basic planes.
I'm gonna show you.
Counterbalance. Counterbalance kind of gets around to Teferi because it is a triggered ability. So things could get interesting here.
Cast the talent.
I'm gonna down check. Sure. Brainstorm response. Yeah.
Blue land on Sean's side is Otawara, in case anybody missed that. Prismatic ending number 2 on Teferi. Another attempt. Teferi really is problematic. Yeah, Audrey wondering if Phil put a 2 on top or a 5 on top. All right, Teferi is defeated. Phil passes the turn. That was a big card off the board. Teferi Time Raveler in the control mirrors gives one player a significant advantage, as most of you know. Another Teferi. Phil is going to thwart that.
It's counter target spell. As an all cast, I can pick up 3 islands.
You can.
Double Mystic Sanctuary and Volk, I believe, will return to hand to pay the alternate cost of thwart. Sean thinking about what to do with this thwart. Looks like Teferi has gone to the trash. Thwart resolves. Okay, Volcanic Island, Prismatic Ending, maybe paying an extra to avoid counterbalance. Counterbalance is exiled. Merchant Scroll once again. Is Merchant Scroll the best card from Homelands? Brainstorm. What's the best card from Homelands, chat?
Prismatic ending on it.
Here's a brainstorm. I believe I still have life totals right. Have I missed anything? Oh, actually, Sean might be at 19. There was a force. It's so hard to keep track when they don't have the phone, but the pen is kind of blocking the pad in the top right. Sorry about that, folks. Volcanic Island.
Yeah. I have cards plus 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now eternalizing the Timeless Dragon. Does Sean have the token? Probably not going to be around for long. That is a Terminus off the top. I wanted to see the token. Weed Williams says this match is too aggressive. Yeah, these decks are very aggro.
Tamio and the Triumph.
Put brainstorm on top of this.
Sorry?
So I'm gonna target Tamio and the Triumph.
Mystic Sanctuary put Brainstorm back on top. Counterbalance once again. Counterspell.
That's Tamio.
Counterbalance. Counterspell. Blue Delta gets correct.
Yes.
And Pastor first.
Both players using quite a bit of throwback cards here. Merchant Scroll, Thwart, Counterspell. Mystic Sanctuary now for Sean. What does Sean want?
I will keep swap.
Both times Sean dropped a standstill, Phil cracked it immediately. I think at this point, though, Phil's still ahead on cards.
Put the brainstorm on top.
Where chroma?
Sure. Draw.
Okay, Brainstorm tapping the correct land. Sean very proper here.
It is online.
And I'm gonna.
Fuzzy, thank you for the sub.
Bolt.
Okay. So you lose a draw card?
Lose one and draw a card.
Yep. 14.
I'm gonna play land.
Put Thwart on top.
Okay.
Mystic Sanctuary. Phil saying Thwart's going back on top. There it goes. Once Thwart goes back on top of the library in a control versus control game, Phil kind of has a huge advantage. And the game may be slipping away from Sean here. Merchant Scroll now. Finds Force of Will this time.
I'll pass it.
Audrey's saying the camera doesn't show it, but Phil is smiling all through the match. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot to be smiling about when your Thwart is going back on top of the deck and stuff like that. Whoa! It looked like Sean's head was going to bump the camera for a second there. Okay, here's a brainstorm for Sean. Looking at some cards, drawing some cards. What's the split card in Phil's graveyard? Is there a split card in there? I don't know which split card you're referring to. Is there an obvious one I'm forgetting? Here's the Brain Surge.
Am I gonna break two? I'm gonna move to blocks. That's not a break. It's a block here. Those are my blocks.
Oh, the Depose. Yeah. It's Depose. Depose deploy. Thank you, Audrey. I forgot about that one. That is a split card.
These cards are in the void. Yeah. So it's not under.
All right, another Merchant Scroll for Phil. How many Merchant Scrolls are in the deck?
I mean, it's just very powerful. I don't know, it's something like I'd rather play something completely powerful.
Okay, this time it will be Predict. Predict goes to hand.
Oh yeah.
Okay, fine.
So
I'm gonna cast Fairy.
I'll do a
3 drop.
3 drop to fairy.
Version stuff.
Cracking some fetches. Sean will draw.
I will attempt to bounce your
Curtains.
I'm gonna uptick to fairy.
Mystic Sanctuary for Phil.
What do you mean? Because it has to be a play before this.
Depose, deploy, comes back to hand now.
Very jealous.
No, so because the void won't come into play, anything goes to your graveyard now.
Yeah, I just start
Sorry, can I ask you what you have life totals at?
16 me, 22 you.
You got my fetch there?
No, 21.
Yeah.
All right, Phil's getting life totals for us. Appreciate that, Phil. Okay, making an attempt at Lorien revealed. I think Phil's going to have an answer for that. Let's see.
One of any color.
5 cards in Sean's hand. Phil answers with deploy.
That's the 2/1/1s.
Yeah.
Bowmaster good.
Okay, Phil will make 2/1/1 Thopters. Gain 2 life. I think the life gain is getting forgotten here. All right, cards are getting drawn by Sean from Lorien revealed. Okay, Phil chose not to interact with Lorien revealed, allowed the 2 cards to be drawn. The card draw didn't seem to matter to Phil, I guess. Phil feels ahead on cards. Makes sense.
The casting requirements is that you could do.
Yeah, do it with them.
So the last one actually right here.
I mean, you can build it to beat it.
Okay, I'm not sure life totals are correct, but players have themselves at 24 and 14.
Predict trigger myself. Source splash.
Okay, predict. Gain Swords of Plowshares, get something to the graveyard. Don't need that right now. Attack with the Thopter. Sean drops a 13. This is still game 1. Audrey wondering if it's turn 0 yet.
Move to discard.
Discards of Swords, not going to be needing that. Jason, thank you for the sub with Prime, 6 months.
I keep move to damage. I'm gonna take.
Yeah, Phil's graveyard quite full of stuff right now.
I'll move to discard.
Okay, discarded a Merchant Scroll that time.
Dredge is still good. Yes.
I will take that.
Okay, a brainstorm happening now for Sean. Other than Timeless Dragon, I don't believe we've seen any threats from Sean. Things that could attack Phil's life total. Sometimes in standstill decks, you'll see stuff like, I don't know, Mishra's Factory or something. Shark Typhoons getting cycled. Things that get around standstill. Timeless Dragon, of course, one of them.
Triggers. You're gonna have a trigger on the stack.
Phil has somewhat of a board advantage with a 1/1 flyer.
Hit it for 2, and then you for 5, and you get 7 triggers.
Okay, standstill on the stack.
Four. These guys
I'm going to cryptic command to counter and bounce on Mystic Sanctuary.
plus one. They're monstrously large.
Cryptic command. Counter, bounce, Mystic Sanctuary, counter spell in response. Phil's gonna force pitching Piracy Charm.
Okay. You and I both have to deal with Bowmaster somehow. I have 4 left after that.
When unmasked, target you, exile. Tendrils of that.
This is Doxy's.
Yeah, with no life. Up to 4.
Hard cast Force from Sean, tapping 5 lands for that one. Quite a fight over this Cryptic Command, which is trying to counter Standstill.
So then the storm count is fine. Actually, it doesn't matter. My storm count is my storm killer is right?
Your force on my force resolves. I'm going to pick up the 3 Mystic Sanctuaries that Cryptic isn't targeting. I'm going to target.
Okay, thwart targeting Standstill, returning 3 Mystic Sanctuaries to hand.
I love it. It feels so good. Oh, it feels so sexy playing.
It's so good when black is a shitty color, and now black's one of the best colors.
Force of Will, pitching Lorien revealed. We're fighting here. Phil with another Force of Will. Pitching Lorien revealed.
Hold on. What happened?
So this falls off.
Yep.
This falls off.
Still.
This will counter this, so my Mystic Sanctuary will stay on the board.
Okay, Mystic Sanctuary stays on the board. Cryptic Command was countered, but Standstill was also countered. Force of Will, I guess, wins the counter war. The only non-land permanent is still a 1/1 Thopter on Phil's side. Phil moving a bunch of stuff around. The graveyard quite large. Underneath the phone is his exile zone. Mystic Sanctuary. Thwart goes right back on top. Cryptic Command, folks. Adam, thank you for the resub with Prime 21 months. Appreciate that. Ooh, here we go. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Phil used a lot of resources to counter that standstill last turn. Phil has a force. Spell Pierce. Jace is in. Brainstorm. Wow.
Well, actually, that's not like.
This is still game 1, folks.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I did one person progress. I won like
Wasteland is left.
matchup, mirror matches.
Lorien reveal. Draw 3.
And what was it?
Did Sean jump ahead here? Attacking Jace. Jace dropped his 2 loyalty. Mystic Sanctuary. It's hard to say right now. Who's ahead in this game? Okay, depose, deploy, back on top of the library. Okay, Jace ticks up, puts the depose, deploy on the bottom. Good play there by Sean. Jace now at 4 loyalty. Timeless Dragon getting hard cast. It's a 5/5. Okay, so Timeless Dragon gets exiled. It is a 5/5 when it is, the printed card and not the token. Jace the Mind Sculptor gets 1 loyalty taken away. Ooh, what's this one? What card is that Phil just cast? Oh, it's the one that like chooses 3 cards in the graveyard, and then like your opponent. Oh, what does this do again? Oh. What card is that, chat? Okay, so selected is counterbalance, counterbalance, merchant scroll.
I'm gonna target these 4.
And Tundra. They get shuffled into the library. The name of this card is just not coming to mind. Thank you. Yes, it is Witness the Future. Thank you. On the Wind. Perfect. That is the one. I just could not think of the name. Yeah, you choose 4 cards from your graveyard, shuffle them in. Nothing to do with your opponent. I thought your opponent checks something for chooses something for a second, but you just then kind of impulse. All right, so Jace the Mind Sculptor looks at the top card of Phil's deck, going up to 5 loyalty now. Okay, Phil fetches now. Both libraries looking pretty thin. You just deploy. Making some Thopters. There they are.
So just feel like, alright, this is gonna get destroyed anyway.
Crush, thank you for the resub 3 months. Counterbalance. Jace is at 5 loyalty. The tokens on Phil's side. The Yu-Gi-Oh cards are 1/1 flying artifact Thopters. Snapcaster Mage, okay. 5 cards in Sean's hand. Response to Snapcaster, we're casting Thwart.
Talking about might be kind of difficult to deal with. Two main deck You're drawing 50 cards. I end up drawing sick draws.
Mystic Sanctuary now for Phil. Thwart right back on top of the deck. 3 Thopters at Jace. Jace drops to 2. Depose Deploy still in the graveyard. Counterbalance on the board now for Phil. Jace might be in trouble. Gonna put Thwart on the bottom.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, trying another Timeless Dragon hardcast. Merchant Scroll revealed on top. Timeless Dragon will resolve. Merchant Scroll gets drawn for turn.
I think second cavern deck is insane. You could just beat Pyroblast so much easier.
Thwart is selected, placed into hand by Merchant Scroll. Mystic Sanctuary.
Go for LED.
I'll try to counter it.
I have like
I cast Bowmaster, you cast Force of Will, I cast LED, focus 3.
Did you? Yeah, I got you.
how many days is this?
Cast Echo,
A month. Very good.
Cryptic Command goes back on top. Okay. 3 Thopters attack Jace. One of them will die in combat, blocked by the Timeless Dragon.
Sorry. Yeah, you are. Okay, sorry.
I'll try and bounce these two.
It's just like a really good minding process of how I play.
Prismatic Ending, targeting Counterbalance. That will resolve. Counterbalance will go into exile. Filled with 2 exile piles. Oh no, one exile pile. Okay. Jace goes on the bottom. Jace puts Cryptic Command on the bottom, I meant to say. Now Phil looking through the graveyard with Mystic Sanctuary again. We've seen these Mystic Sanctuaries recycled quite a bit. Thinking about Witness the Future. Thinking about Depose Deploy. It'll be Witness the Future on top. Okay. Yeah, Dr. Wooms in the chat pointing out that Phil will be able to eventually recycle the deck quite a bit with Mystic Sanctuaries, Witness the Future, Thwart, etc. Yeah. Jace ticks up to 6. Jace is nicely protected by this Timeless Dragon now. Mystic Sanctuary for Phil. Thinking about Depose Deploy. Merchant Scroll, maybe? Has to beat this Jace. We have not yet seen Entreat the Angels. Merchant Scroll, I don't know that it's in the deck. Merchant Scroll on top. Counterbalance resolves. Jace will likely be thinking about moving that Merchant Scroll, but we'll see.
Put it on top.
Yeah, the Merchant Scroll was just placed on top. Jace is going to go up to 8 loyalty, targeting Force of Fill, move the Merchant Scroll to the bottom. Land drop made, pass the turn. Jace up to 8 loyalty. One of the Thopters will die in combat. Jace drops to 7 loyalty. Jace up to 9.
Try to counter.
Looks like Sean was happy with whatever was on top. Prismatic Ending gets drawn. Looks like 3 cards in Sean's graveyard.
I can deterministically not deck.
That's my only issue.
Sure.
Because I can cast spells into my own thwart to pick up this, so I always have something to draw as long as I have access to at least a Mystic Sanctuary.
Cast one spell, you forward it, pick it up.
So as long as I have access to 2 of these plus a thwart and any spell, if they come into play untapped.
Can I ult before you?
What's up?
Can I ult before you?
You can ult, but I can never deck.
I need to make room for blue glass.
Like this, like I'll draw. These things will become. This is in my hand. This is on the board.
Yeah.
So like even if my hand becomes my library, I can always cast my spells into my own stuff.
It doesn't have to, but when it does, I'm like, I just want to that
I was having a good plan. This is my kind of magic.
They're all exiled.
We're not going to have a game 2 anyway. I think you're going to win this anyway.
Players discussing the situation. Phil's saying no matter what, I can't deck because of the Mystic Sanctuary thwart situation.
I'll waste your...
Jace the Mind Sculptor's ultimate, not a threat to Phil, Phil pointing out.
Yeah.
I believe you can win. I see the writing on the wall. So this is good content.
It's super fun.
Okay. I think we're in my turn. I bottomed. I counted. So pass turn to you.
Sure. Stick one.
I guess I would have to hold myself.
So Sean only has 3 cards left in the library, which sparked the discussion here. Sean trying to figure out, is there any way I win this? Phil pointing out it's unlikely. Sean agrees.
Pass turn.
Yep.
2 cards left in the library for Sean.
Incidentally, the Witness of the Future that you've seen also makes it so I can't deck, but that can be fought over.
That's the one I put on the bottom.
Yeah. Witness of the Future can be fought over, but because the thwart by as an alt cost puts the Mystic Sanctuaries back in hand,
Right.
even if it's fought over, the Sanctuaries are just still occurring. So.
Thwart might be the MVP of this match. To call it a match is kind of funny. It's only been 1 game.
Because an irrelevant factor.
I think if I had more cards, I could beat you down if I could. I don't have the cards, so it's a moot point.
Oh, to like go into combat?
Yeah, because I could keep casting.
Yeah, I know I have 1 source of Flash still left in my deck.
Is it possible that if Sean had thought about the possibility of thwart, that Sean should just have been attacking? Unclear.
Got it.
So like you would know that you would have to fight over that sword. But yeah, you're in for it. Cheers.
That is the match. Force of Phil gets it. Sean concedes. Wow. The best format, everybody. GG's. Well played. That was interesting. Calamity has arrived. AJ Potato says White Border Evil vanquished. Yeah, I'm not really big on the this version of the cards or whatever is bad thing, but okay. All right, let's set up another poll for the Twitch chat, shall we? Which match next? Your options will be Savior, thank you for the resub with Prime, 32 months. Your options will be Esper Tempo or Esper Control, I'm not sure, versus Is It Otters? Miracles versus Maverick. Mono Black versus Reanimator. Stoneblade versus Otters. Or Reanimator versus Breakfast. You have 1 minute. Vote now in the chat. Whoops. Just misclicked. Vote now in the chat. Magic Ads is here pointing out that, yeah, if it's 1-0 on the time, you won a game, your opponent 1-0, you win the match, 1-0. And that's what you would put into the companion app, for example. All right, votes are coming in the chat. Vote for which match you want next. 30 seconds left on that, approximately. People will be spending some channel points on this one, it looks like. Looks like people had fun at MagicCon over the weekend. We're seeing a lot of posts of new pickups in the chat as well. Reanimator versus Breakfast up next. And Aviator contributed 3,600 channel points. Thank you, Aviator. Let's set this up. Diving in. Greg on the left with Reanimator. On the right, Yasu with Breakfast. Yasu in the chat. What's up, Yasu? Looks like mulligans are happening.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Delta crack? Yeah, the basic.
Anarchy Inducer saying this is definitely not Reanimator. Uh-oh.
Hopefully they don't get that far down the deck. It makes a difference.
Oh boy. Brainstorm for Greg. This was a multi-5, it looked like, for Yasu. Now we're being notified that the show notes may be wrong. This is not Reanimator. Who the hell knows? This could be any deck. Lotus Petal, okay. Dark Ritual, okay. Cabal Therapy, target you.
Force of Will. Nadu, Shaky Shake. Okay.
Oh, what's the double face card? Shieldred.
What's this?
Time your Inquisitive student.
Time
Okay, so Shieldred the Apocalypse is on the board. Tamio was the double face card in Yasu's hand. Props to Yasu for using a sleeved up placeholder card. Having Yasu, having Tamio off to the side. I keep saying the wrong name. Yasu doing it correctly. All right, so Tundra now.
You're it, but I lose it.
Twitch chat, tell me what Greg's deck should be called.
Turn one children.
What is this?
Expecting crazy stuff, but
Oh, yeah, well, that's a given.
cast shoot.
Shieldred Control? Has blue cards. It must be Control, right? Life Total Control, Greg Pile, Greginator. Turbo Shieldred. SF45, thank you for the donation. Really appreciate it. What's up, SF? LED. Wait, what was that? Oh. I was like, why are we looking at the top of the deck? But it was a fetch. Tamio equipped with Shuko. That seems kind of broken. Undercity Sewer, Surveil. Freaking Surveil mechanic. I'm so tired of it.
Well, even if there was
Okay, Tamio will block, protecting life total. Prioritize here. Yasu's gonna lose some life for draw step. I mean, Yasu can still combo. This is Cephalid breakfast. This isn't, you know. We just watched a match on stream earlier of, you know, Control Mirror. Yasu is capable of comboing off. And Greg is hellbent, so we're not going to see Greg interact with any of it. Greg in a vulnerable position here.
He's still locked on.
Trigger. One more time.
Dread return. Shuko. Nadu triggered twice. Nadu equip the Shuko. Greg will gain some life from Shieldred.
Brainstorm, 30.
Brainstorm gain 6 life. Not too bad.
I'm realizing that just notice his
Dread Return in hand. We'll see if that kind of messes things up here. Nadu dies in combat, unfortunately for Yasu. Yeah, it looked like Greg just drew some lands on that brainstorm. But Greg in a good position right now, I think. Yasu in some trouble. Cavernon Wizard, another Nadu. Okay, Shuko gets equipped. Nadu revealed. Island comes into play.
Oh, yeah, not the shit. Okay.
Equip.
Sure.
Pass turn.
So it's a 5/4.
Okay, so now Nadu can trade with Shieldred in combat, potentially. Has 5 power. That'll be a consideration for Greg.
Dread Return, mystery card.
Dread Return, Nadu, mystery card is Yasu's hand. And Nadu will likely be able to trigger at least 2 more times in the next turn.
Alright, so you can kill my children, which I don't care for, but and you have a Nadu, so don't care for any of that.
It's a personal, yeah.
Greg does have a Cabal Therapy in the graveyard. I don't think we're going to use it, but unmask you. Okay.
I'll take your Nadu.
Okay, Nadu's taken. Good to leave Dread Return in hand, in my opinion. Pass the turn. 2 more life.
I think I missed a lot of my okay. So let's go.
Brainstorm and Source to Plowshare is found. Source to Plowshare is not too bad. That gets rid of Shieldred. Unlocks Brainstorm. Greg might be in trouble now. Attack for 5.
I don't know if
We're still
just so I can keep doing it.
Unmask you.
Unmask on the stack again.
I'll take the swords.
Okay, Swords is selected. Brainstorm remains.
Quick twice.
D's and then Cephalid Illusionist. Cephalid Illusionist, an important combo piece. It hits the stack.
Oh, so it's, yeah, you got it.
Yasu gets game 1, kind of unexpectedly. It looked like Yasu was in big trouble, but got game 1.
Yeah. For a mode of 5, I'll take that.
Yeah, and it was a multi 5. I'll take that too.
Yoko 5, but I drew well.
I think I need to keep this in. Yeah, I guess it's gotta be that.
Whenever you're ready.
Cabal Therapy, target you. I'll name Source of Plowshares. You got...
Okay, Cabal Therapy, naming Source of Plowshares. There are no Source of Plowshares. The modal double face card is Tameo, Narcomoeba, Nadu, Ponder, Urza Saga, Misty Rainforest, Force of Negation.
What's the plowshares? Fetch.
All right, fetching now with a Misty, finding a Tundra. Probably going to ponder.
No pass ponder. An ability is like snowboarding or mountain.
Greg knows what he's up against. Thought about it quite a bit while sideboarding, I imagine. Yasu, it's possible, is not really sure what Greg's deck does. Much like the Twitch chat, not really sure what's in this library. Any guesses other than Shieldred? What other threats are in this deck, chat?
No.
I think it's likely Orcish Bowmaster is in there.
Like that game, I didn't have it, but I think in general it's a very good card.
You have to attack both your shooters in that teleportation box. Just saying, attracts you may have done anything more. I mean,
Twitch chat making some guesses. Echo of Eons, Necrodominance.
I actually don't know if they can do the actual. Usually I can play around or play through the tracks.
Bowmaster. Oh boy. This card is crazy. Force pitching Narcomoeba.
yep. Sack effect.
Reanimate target Bowmasters. Oh boy, it is a Reanimator.
Don't come back.
Don't have to deal with it.
It has Reanimate. It has Reanimate. It's a Reanimator.
I'm okay with that. We take 2. I'll take 1.
So I'm at 18. You're at 7.
You just got Zex out.
We're reanimating.
It's actually funny you mention I did end up drawing a song.
Kiviuk has arrived. There's an Orc army for Greg. Taller Eric suggesting this should be called Nick Fit. Yeah.
That's right.
You want to cast it when you have like 1, 2, or
Okay, so flashbacking, call therapy now. Okay, Force of Negation is named. It will be discarded. Nadu and Tamio are the last non-land cards in Yasu's hand.
Like the idea is like the way that card compensates for burn out. And it also makes it harder for your opponent to consume.
A lot of confusion about what Greg's deck is doing. Maybe some thoughts about what it's not doing as well.
Cameo.
There's Tamio. Flooded Strand gets cracked by Yasu now. Brainstorm could be pretty good here. Nope, it'll be a Savannah. Nomads and Core. Greg's most likely going to surveil here as my guess. Undercity Sewers was seen in the previous game. We were right. Surveil.
I mean, I have 2 mana. Like it's. You know,
I mean, you mill the Echo, draw land.
Draw LED. Hell yeah.
LED works too.
Nadu is prepared, ready to go for next turn. That'll be pretty problematic for Greg, most likely. Blue Delta dumped it to the graveyard with Surveil.
Oh, come on. Next turn, you're just like, come on. Go. So many outs. Yep.
Passing it back to Yasu, plays the land, which is Urza Saga. Gets its first chapter, and here is Nadu.
Activate on time, you trigger.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna flip 6 cards. One,
I know.
land, love land, illusionist,
Take as that. Take as that. Don't care.
Well, there's some awkward finds here. 2 lands came in. Cephalid Illusionist, Stasis Oracle, Dread Return, Orum's Chant, all to hand for Yasu. Creates an interesting situation. It's possible Yasu could have, paused rather than done all 6. Did the 1x1, maybe we would have stopped. I don't know, I'm not sure. All right, Orum's Chant happening. A little bit of a time walk during Greg's upkeep.
Go.
On your end step, I'm gonna flip 6 more cards. One,
All right, you gonna do 6 now? Yeah, I guess it just makes sense to just keep going. The Orum's Chant was the last card found, but all right. Yasu gets the match. GG's combo available for the following turn. Yasu gets it. Satel says you have to do 1x1 because of surveillance. That's true, I guess. Okay. Keep things moving along. Poll about to go live in the chat for which match we will watch next. Will it be Miracles versus Maverick, Stoneblade versus Echo of Eon's deck that we just saw, Otters versus Mono Black, Orzhov midrange, black-white Ketchermos stuff versus Reanimator. Or green-white depths, dark depths versus blue-white otters. So we have 2 different otters decks in the queue. One's blue-white, one's blue-red. Start poll, 1 minute. Vote now in the chat for which match you'd like to see. Got some interesting choices here. I don't even know what I would want if it were me in the chat. I'm going to vote. What do I want? All right, I voted. Discord up on your screen. Join the Discord if you're not in the Discord. We also have a Patreon. Reminder on that. Okay, strange things are happening in the Discord. Mail Day channel. Maybe see what I'm up to coming up. People are picking up cats. What do you think of this card, chat? Stock up. How you feeling? Moncaro, thank you for the 1,600 channel points. Ketchermos will be up next versus Reanimator. Diving in.
Okay.
Okay. Audrey on the left with white, black, catcher most, and on the right we have Reanimator. That would be Mario. It should be good. Now Spellbomb. Okay, that's not too bad.
Ace.
Yeah, I'm just gonna search again.
I figured.
Okay, the now Spellbomb gets dazed, and then an Entomb is happening. A little bit of shortcut happening here. Mario dazes, then to Spellbomb, and then casts an Entomb. Not a bad start for Mario. Dasoku says stock up is a mistake. Oh boy. Here it comes, folks. A tidal wave of of I don't even know what.
That's easy.
Did they test the card? Thoughtseize reveals White Orchid Phantom, Overlord of the Belmark, Swords to Plowshares, Boggart Trawler, Prismatic Vista, and Wasteland. Interesting hand. Boggart might take a while. Valgavoth is in the graveyard.
This is just a lot. That takes 3 damage for
Go.
Okay, Overlord of the Belmark goes into the trash. That could be an interesting one to reanimate at some point. Wasteland fired off. Pass the turn to Mario. I like the Wasteland there. That seems like a good play. Wasteland now for Mario.
so resting on permanents and a bunch of text. I'll take 3.
Okay, pay 3 life. Play Boggart as a land. Reanimate Valgavoth. Oh boy. Ouch. Ouch. All right. Audrey takes game 1. That card reanimated is busted, Chad. Mario will be on the play. AP, thank you for the resub. 41 months for AP. The European time cannot comprehend this many American months. AP, absolutely right. AP been with us for a long time. Really appreciate you, AP. Leyline of the Void for Audrey. That's going to be a problem. Ponder. Audrey's screaming at the chat. Stop asking me about Ephemerate. Aviator says, what about Ephemerate? All right, passing the turn back to Audrey after the Ponder. Audrey's turn 1 play will be now Spellbomb. Oh, man. That's a lot of disruption here on the first turn. Another Ponder for Mario. Undercity Sewer, leave it on top. Mario said, I know what's there. I want it there.
Caracas? Sure.
Caracas now. Oh, boy. Ouch. What tier is Reanimator, chat? Is it tier 1? I don't know. Can't be beaten. Here's Felio. I played 30 leagues on MTGO. I lost every game to Reanimator. Audrey out here just smacking people around. with cards that everybody forgot about.
Okay.
Here's a brainstorm. Brainstorm happening for Mario. Felia, Exuberant Shepherd, getting dismembered.
Pass.
Audrey says Chris is just lucky nobody at NYC plays Blue-Black Reanimator well. Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
Here's Baragoyf.
Pass.
Baragoyf not too bad here.
Ouch.
Fatal push goes into exile. Could have came in handy later. Yeah, Pink pointing out Audrey has no friends, just enemies. Exactly. Marsh Flats gets correct. That it will increase the Baragoyf's power. Audrey now has access to black mana. Baragoyf. Such an awesome card. I'm a big fan. Three mana. Ketramos. Brazen Bar, Petty Theft to bounce Leyline of the Void. Daze on the Ketramos, it is countered. Okay, making progress. Baragoyf now has 3 power. Leyline of the Void is gone. Brazen Bar is on an adventure. Things may be coming together slowly for Mario. He now has a graveyard. Reanimate, targeting Ketramos.
Reanimate my Ketramos.
Should Mario rather have attacked? I don't know. Yeah, Brazen Bar is on an adventure, not in the graveyard. Reanimate resolved. Ketramos is in play now on Mario's side. Baragoyf's power moves up to 4 now. Undercity Sewer Surveil. Wasteland dumped.
Combat.
Yep. 4. Ouch. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. I'm at 14, you're at 16.
Baragoyf fight.
Baragoyf comes into hand for Mario. There's an Atraxa now in the graveyard for Mario. In addition to a Brainstorm and Reanimate mill just now. Atraxa in the graveyard is scary. There is a Nile Spellbomb still on Audrey's side. Reanimate Atraxa. Force pitching force. An attempt at reanimating Atraxa fails that time. Looks like Audrey has a Bowlmaster, maybe another Ketramos in hand. There's a Caracas on Audrey's side, which is interesting with this Ketramos situation. Hasn't used it yet.
Sorry.
Don't know for how long. All right. Well, Ketramos sticks around on Mario's side for now.
Combat.
Yeah. I'll bounce it.
4.
Okay, now Bowmaster flashed in after the Caracas bounces Ketramos.
Jump with the token.
Jump with the token. Orc army dies. Baragoyf is blocked. Life is still gained.
Yeah.
Another Baraglyph could be problematic. Baraglyphs have 4 power. Now a Ketramos with Caracas to protect it. On Audrey's side, swords on one of the Baraglyphs. Ketramos trigger. Thinking about using the spell bomb. Gonna hold off maybe. Ketramos slowly getting more and more play in Legacy. This card is looking pretty damn good in Legacy so far. Okay, now spell bomb got used. It turns out Mario's graveyard is gone. A Boggart gets played as a land. Boggart Bog. Ponder. That'll trigger the Bowmaster. Mario will shuffle and looking for answers. Seems like with Atraxa exiled and Ketramos on the board for Audrey and a Bowmaster, that Audrey's in a decent position here. Ketramos is a creature. Don't forget. It's not about devotion with these new gods.
Impending?
Overlord of the Bellmark. Impending. Mill 4. Felia return to hand. Felia is going to be really good here. Felia can blink the Overlord of the Bellmark.
What are you putting off?
I have cards for people I don't have a deck. I mean, I can put the deck together.
All right, Mario will scoop it up. Black-white mid-range. Gets it. GG's. Well played. What about Reanimator? What about the Frog? What about Bowmaster? It's too good. What about... what about banning Reanimate? What are we going to ban, chat? We got to ban something, right? All right. Let's set up another poll for the Twitch chat, shall we? Ban Audrey might be an option. What will be in this poll? Which match next? Twitch chat decides. Black-white mid-range, Ketramos versus Miracles. Esper Tempo versus Dark Depths. Grixis Delver versus, I believe, Teamer Beanstalk? I believe it's Rug Beans. Miracles versus Dark Depths. Or is it Otters versus Mono Black? You got 1 minute. Get your vote in. Discord up on your screen. Join the Discord if you're not in the Discord. We also have a Patreon. Go follow the Patreon. It's free. Stay in the know what we have going on over on Patreon. All right, votes are coming in the chat. Less than a minute. We'll see what Twitch chat wants to watch. Lots of votes so far. I'm going to vote. I will say... Okay, I voted. All right, people are joining the Discord. Hey, we got Toy in here. They're bringing back the Storm mechanic. They even named the card Storm Scale, chat. They're laughing at us. They don't love us. They treat us like crap. but I'm still going to play. Ketchermos versus Miracles. Up next, Aviator contributed 1,000 channel points. Aviator rigging all the polls today, it looks like. Let's set this up. I'm so ready for Tarkir, by the way. Do we have anyone who's more pumped than me for Tarkir? I made my return to in-person Magic with Cons of Tarkir back in 2014. And I could not be any more pumped right now. I'm ready. I'm so ready. What about product fatigue? Diving in.
I'll keep it.
All right, Twitch chat voting for matchups today is sending us on a nice journey, I feel like, where we're seeing some of the decks that previously appeared on stream now face off. Miracles versus White-Black Ketchermos. Audrey on the left, Force of Phil on the right. Force of Phil has taken a mulligan.
Oh my god.
One card on the bottom for Phil. We are ready to go. 6 cards for Phil, 7 for Audrey. Ponder to start the game for Phil. It's a Ponder shuffle.
Surveil, black white. Yep. Marsh floods to be ready or pass it.
Flooded Strand for Phil. Shadowy Backstreet. Surveil the Marsh Flats into the graveyard for Audrey on turn 1. Here's another Marsh Flats.
Pass.
All right, lots of exciting stuff happening so far. Mystic Sanctuary comes in tapped. Pass the turn. Marsh Flats gets correct. Is this going to be another Surveil land? Nope, Scrubland. Audrey's list is posted on our Discord server. It's been an ongoing list that has evolved over the last couple of weeks. Keep an eye on our Discord's Decklist channel if you're interested. Force of Phil, of course, has lists posted on our Discord as well. Join the damn Discord, everybody. Dude, that's where we're all hanging out in there, making decks, winning tournaments, the whole thing. And you're not in there. Here's Relic of Progenitus. I just got angry.
Pass turn.
Relic of Progenitus. Oh boy.
Sure.
AP wondering if we could see beautiful Serendipity Freaks in the Discord. You know what, AP? Post some damn Serendipity Freaks in there. Where are all the pictures? All right, there's a Brainstorm for Phil. Bowmaster in response. Phil was prepared for that, most likely. It resolves. Before the Brainstorm. Piracy Charm. Kills the Bowmaster. Okay. Wow.
Go ahead. Island Walk doesn't matter. Must have okay, that was
OSHA regulations.
Yeah, Phil playing cards that disrespect the color pie on the wind is absolutely right. The Planner Chaos set was such a mistake. What's the best legacy card from the Planner Chaos set, chat? Like I'm asking for real. I actually don't know the answer.
Response. Exile a card.
You choose the card. I choose the card.
Target player exiles a card from their graveyard.
I'll choose this place.
Okay, Flooded Strand is exiled. A Relic of Progenitus chosen by Phil. That's how Relic of Progenitus works. Brainstorm goes on top. Ah, Urborg. Yeah, it's got to be Urborg or Simian Spirit Guide. Good picks by the chat. I forgot about Urborg. I totally blanked. I'm like, what? I know there are legacy cards from that set. What's the best one? It's got to be Urborg or Simian Spirit Guide.
That's somewhat annoying.
See, that's why we have a live chat, because I didn't want to have to Google it.
Play a Wasteland. Sure.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, but
This was in. Oh, I see. Okay. It had to be, right?
Orc Army attacked. Here's White Orchid Phantom.
I know what it is.
No, I think you just randomly took one. Why didn't
Feels like I know what that does.
I don't see.
Get that out of my face.
target this.
Shit, I'm sorry for that.
Now you can search for
Okay, Mystic Sanctuary is blown up. And Phil can look for it. Now Phil asks what the card does. Alright, so finds a basic island, okay.
Reanimate target Bowmaster.
I know what that does. Wait, what does it do? Reanimating Bowmaster.
counterbalance trigger.
Yep.
Alright, it is countered by a ponder revealed by counterbalance.
I will pass the turn. Ponder on top.
Yeah. And then we can go to
Test box.
Off fetch response and flash it.
Counterbalance trigger.
Okay, there was a Bowmaster in hand. Counterbalance trigger reveals a plains. There's a ponder on the stack and a Bowmaster on the stack. Phil's gonna cast a spell, it seems.
Stay back. But with you guys going on board,
Like this.
Force pitch predict.
Force of Will, pitching predict on the Bowmaster. Bowmaster is successfully countered. Ponder will resolve safely. Card on top of the deck was plain, so that's in the mix. Yeah, no proxies at these events. Phil's collection has a lot of altered cards.
You name it on resolution, right?
Predict.
Force will.
I'll have you exile a card.
Prismatic Ending. Removes Relic of Progenitus. Pass the turn back to Audrey, who has a White Orchid Phantom and a 1/1 Orc Army now. Phil, of course, has Counterbalance. Attacking for 3. Will Wasteland blow up Volk? I'm not sure. Plays a Caracas. Overlord of the Belmark getting hard cast, not impending. Counterbalance trigger, fetch. Oh no.
I'll put Force will on top.
Yeah, the Overlord is countered. Mystic Sanctuary put Force of Will on top, revealed by Counterbalance. Counter the Overlord of the Belmark. Here's a Brainstorm for Phil. The Overlords of Duskmourn, huge part of the story of the Pro Tour over the weekend. Belmark not really relevant in that event that I saw, though. It was the green Overlord and the white Overlord. I caught some bits and pieces of the Pro Tour. Standard looking pretty good. I just love watching the best players in the world crash against each other with... It doesn't really matter what the format is for me. I just I just love watching the Pro Tours. Overlord of the Bellmark on the stack. Second copy. Force of Will. Predict on upkeep. Mill a counterbalance. Draw 2. Draw for turn.
Seems like something was the word there because all around it.
I'll play Bogart Trawler. Sure. I'm
Brainstorm revealed on top. Cryptic Command.
my God. Draw card. Yeah, sure. My God, it's so cool. It's a good art as well. Pass. You have the words.
Counter your spell, draw a card. Cryptic Command, everybody. Bogart Trawler was countered. Here's a Merchant Scroll for Phil.
You're gonna gain 7. Go to 30.
I have to win this one. The post, top target, draw a card. Okay, deploy. Create 2 colorless top turn.
Depose, deploy. Audrey taking a look at it. Text up on the screen for you. Interesting.
Sure. Let's go. Odie. Resolving Brainstorm.
Kevyuk says, I thought Cryptic Command was dead. We all did. Volcanic Island gets blown up.
Attempt to deploy.
Alright, so you get 2 2s and you get 2 life, right?
I get 2 1/1s. They're Thopters.
Yes.
2 1/1 Thopters for Force of Phil will be represented by these tokens, these Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And the tokens will be dying in combat, one of them trading with an Orc army, one of them chumping White Orchid Phantom. Terminus off the top. That moves the White Orchid Phantom from the battlefield to the bottom of the library. Ponder now for Phil.
Put predict on top.
Alright.
Mystic Sanctuary, put Predict on top.
What's that?
Response to the trigger.
Oh, sure.
Well, in response to that trigger, Felia getting flashed in. Counterbalance revealed. Felia is countered. Predict then goes back on top. Pass the turn for Phil.
Predict target myself.
I'll respond.
Yep.
Okay. Beat that.
Counterbalance trigger.
Okay, so in response to a Predict, there's a Solitude. Brainstorm in response to that. Counterbalance also triggered here. So Counterbalance is on the stack as well. Phil reveals a 5. Force of Will. Solitude is countered. Audrey scoops it up. Force of Phil takes game 1. Counterbalance put in work there.
Look at this abomination.
Read this like Oreo?
Abomination of the king.
Oreo? How did they get the rice? Delicious. Yeah, I'm happy for you.
All right, Phil calling his beverage here an abomination. I won't point out what it is, I guess. The bit of an anecdote, I guess. Every once in a while, I'll be at the LGS hanging out with legacy folk, and somebody will come out with the. All right, 1 card on the bottom for Audrey. Phil has kept 7. Audrey on the play. Every once in a while, I'm hanging out the LGS surrounded by legacy folk, and someone will come out with a, yeah, they've been printing garbage for the last couple of years, or, you know, they don't know what they're doing anymore, kind of thing. I joke about this stuff quite a bit on the channel, but it's like, over time, I mean, rounding to the nearest decade, I guess, what is Magic 30-something years old at this point? Over time, Magic has become more, not only bigger, like scaling dramatically over time. you know, the community is so much larger now than it was in 1995, right? When I started playing. But Legacy, Magic the Gathering, rather, these days, more community, more diverse than ever. Still a lot of room for improvement, but getting a lot better. Maybe the day will come where we see a Pro Tour with, like, you know, to put it into Magic player terms, optimal diversity, full diversity. Players from around the world, all demographics. Game has become both in the art, the game mechanics, the game formats, like Commander, more friendly to people that are not hardcore 1v1 grinder gamers and stuff like that. More queer artists, more person of color artists working on the game, designers, developers, people testing the new sets. The game is just so much better now by, like, every metric that I can think of. And, like, I guess sometimes I hear yeah, remember when it was good? Remember when Magic used to be good talk? And I just I'm so turned off by that. I'm so, like, not interested in participating in that kind of discussion. It's almost like an indicator of ignorance in a way. Like, yeah, Magic was so good in 1999. Not really. Like, not compared to what it is now. A little bit of a rant. Stuff that's been on my mind lately. And Legacy, quite beautifully and perfectly in my mind, covers everything that Magic has to offer. All the sets, including the uncards, including the Universes Beyond, including the old cards that make no sense, Animate Dead, Sylvan Library, crap, Tabernacle, including the newest, weirdest Outlaw Thunder Junction, race car set stuff. LT in the chat, absolutely right. The Magic community was not a welcoming place for a long time. Way better now. Still room for improvement, but absolutely correct by LT. Swords of Plowshares named by the flute. I guess sometimes I'm, you know, hanging out with some of these longtime players. Yeah, it's fine to have nostalgia and all that. That's great, but I mean, let's be for real right now. Like, is the game the people that make the game printing garbage? Get out of here with that.
All right, perfect. Catchamos?
Kind of garbage ideas. All right, here's Ketramos.
Ketramos is in.
I'll pass.
Garbage outlook.
Sure.
Swords of Plowshares, pay the tax. Ketramos is hit.
Wow.
I'll quit my ranting there, but I had to get that off, chat.
You know, honestly, I'm disappointed. That's his target you.
Thoughtseize target you. Let's see what Phil's holding. Piracy Charm again. Prismatic Ending ×2. Volcanic Island. Mystic Sanctuary. Well, there's redundant Prismatic Endings and then a goofy Piracy Charm. We'll see. Clicks Button says, is there no room to separate conversations about fire design with conversations about Magic more diverse? I mean, even the gameplay is better now. Like, fire design and all that stuff, like, it exploded the popularity of Magic, putting formats like Commander at the forefront of the product lineup. And what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
I fetched once, like twice. So this is 1, 2, 3, and I get 4.
Land cyclers, double face cards, like all the new kind of style, let's say, for the gameplay of Magic the Gathering better than ever.
3, 4, 5, and then I get 4. So it's
10 Amber's to 5.
This is all my opinion, by the way. You're allowed to disagree, but I don't understand the other points of view, to be honest with you.
A for the Wiz.
And wasn't like Fire Design like 10 years ago now? Like can we stop? Here's Flicker Wisp.
With one step? Sure. I'll name Prismatic Ending.
Disruptor Flute comes back. This time it'll be Prismatic Ending, which makes sense. Flicker Wisp.
10 Amber's. Sure.
Yeah, Prismatic Ending being named isn't as good since you can use the colors still, but
I'm gonna up to these. I'm gonna go to 6. Back to 6. Sure. I'm separating.
yeah, there are 2 Prismatic Endings in Phil's hand. I think it's still correct to name Prismatic Ending here.
10 Amber's to 5.
Audrey with a Flicker Wisp. All alone. Flute on Prismatic Ending. Prismatic Ending getting fired off. Targeting the Flicker Wisp. It is gone. Pastina arrives in the chat.
Yes.
Are people laughing in the background? Do you hear that?
Target.
Another Flicker Wisp.
Then I'm gonna waste the volcanic.
Okay, wasting Volcanic. Flicker Wisp had blinked an island. Versafil on taps.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, predict. Here's Mystic Sanctuary. If there's any deck that we've seen on stream in the last couple of years that makes great use of Mystic Sanctuary, it's been these decks that Force of Phil has been playing. These Miracles decks are really benefiting from Mystic Sanctuary. Flicker Wisp comes in. Maybe we need a Mystic Sanctuary ban. What were they thinking with that card? Sword Splashers goes back on top. Maybe it should be on the watch list. I'm sick of it. It's got bad play patterns.
Oh, don't worry about the counter response.
Emperor of Bones.
Emperor of Bones. Okay.
Sure. Almost a comment? Sure. This trigger will go.
Emperor of Bones, one of the awesome cards that's been added to the format within the past year. A subtle but positive impact on the format, in my opinion. Brainstorm is exiled. Flicker Wisp attacks. Legacy players still have no idea what finality counters are. They never even heard of it. They just have no idea what's happening. Swords on the Flicker Wisp, it is gone. Prismatic Ending, Emperor of Bones is gone. So the Prismatic Endings have been used now. Emperor of Bones and Flicker Wisp. Off the board, no creatures for Audrey, which is not ideal.
Witness the future.
So the one you shuffle on the thing, it doesn't draw cards.
It impulses.
Impulse, yeah.
Yeah, shuffle 4 cards from your graveyard into your library. then Impulse, basically. Witness the Future. 3 lands.
Shuffle that Impulse.
Shuffle, then Impulse.
Yep.
Counterbalance back. Bowmaster. Gets countered by Counterspell. Bowmaster is countered. Audrey says I should just pack 4 Seasoned Dungeoneer if this in the sideboard if Phil is coming. You know what? It's not a bad idea. Skyclave Apparition is countered, revealing a Monastery Mentor on top of the deck. Oh my goodness. While we were thinking about going back to Tarkir, Monastery Mentor, important card from that kind of age of Magic the Gathering. Solitude. Wait, what's happening here?
This is it.
Okay, Relic of Progenitus did resolve. Solitude, pitching Solitude.
Predict target myself. Make a monk.
Predict, make a monk, mill the Flood Strand, draw 2.
Brainstorm, make a monk.
Yep.
This is all in response to Solitude.
In game 1, if you force that.
There's still a counterbalance trigger on the stack, I believe.
Target myself. Monk.
Shut.
Another predict. Dump to counterbalance. Counterbalance reveals Terminus. Monastery Mentor is exiled. Phil gains some life. Solitude dies from Evoke.
My Solitude was exiled. Sure. This is my. Like, what's your turn?
This is your main phase.
No, that's it. I'm gonna make the same mistake. Terminus, if you wanna cast it, go for it. You're tapped out, so I'm just gonna exile.
I was debating whether or not to take it with.
Relic of Progenitus pop now. Exile the graveyard.
Kind of does.
Yeah. Turns. One range takes 2 turns.
I've even played that card before.
It's great with Catcher Mouse, it's just a shame you killed it. Yeah. Sure.
Okay, Ponder. Some prowess triggers are going to happen here. Those are 1/1 monks with prowess created by Monastery Mentor.
Yeah, like taking out endings feels terrible.
Attack it for 6.
I'm at 16.
Attack it for 6. Audrey drops to 16.
It's a great card to draw. White Orchid.
White Orchid Phantom.
Counter draw.
Not even trigger? Yeah, sure.
I know what's on top.
Yeah. Reanimate.
Cryptic Command. Reanimate the White Orchid Phantom. Counterbalance trigger, fetching Mystic Sanctuary. Gonna put Ponder on top and counter reanimate.
Cast Ponder.
Sure.
Ponder, prowess trigger number 1. The 1/1 monks are now 2/2 monks.
It forces you to like.
I can't really like force it.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. But pencil is
Have a turn.
Yeah.
Delver, right? If Delver was like the best deck, people would go
Yeah.
Merchant Scroll.
Yeah.
Audrey playing it out for the fans. Audrey in the chat.
2 more spells.
That is Thwart found by Merchant Scroll.
I don't have 2 more. I don't have 2 more spells.
No, not 2 more spells.
No, not 2 more spells.
Just plow your thing and thwart it.
I want to track so.
What's up?
Plow your thing and
I
thwart
just
it.
drew it.
Yeah, but that's like aggro.
What are you talking about? It's just
Why
lethal on board.
why would I spew?
Just liberate me. Come on. I was at 16 years before 12.
Audrey with a with a demand for Phil to finish him off. And here's Boggart Trawler. Counterbalance trigger reveals Tundra. Thwart returns the 3 Mystic Sanctuaries. We saw that one coming. Unlikely that Audrey will resolve any more relevant spells for the rest of this game. Thwart goes on back on top of the library. Here's a Ponder. Attack for 6. That is the match.
Not even Thwart locking.
Audrey can't believe it. GG's. GG's. Force of Phil gets it. Force of Phil gets it. Audrey says that Phil threatened to attack for 1 for 4 turns. He should have done it. He should have done it. Okay. Which match next? Twitch chat will vote. Is it Otters versus Mono Black? Or Black White Ketramos versus Demir of some kind? I'm not sure. Cephalid Breakfast versus Miracles. Maverick versus Dark Depths. Or Blue White Otters versus lost my place. Dark Depths. 1 minute. Get your vote in. Try to give us a variety here on today's stream. We have quite a large queue right now. We have at least 15 other matches in the chat. I'll try to get us as many streams as I could fit into my schedule here. If you're liking the streams, you're liking 90s MTG, you like hanging out in the Discord, you like watching on YouTube, please consider picking up a membership. They're pretty cheap. They unlock some cool perks. We have them on Patreon. We have them on Coffee. You can join on YouTube. Or you can subscribe for free to our Twitch channel if you have Amazon Prime. Join the family. Come hang out with us. And let's watch some Paper Legacy together as a family. Ketramos versus Demir. Aviator contributed 1,200. Thank you, Aviator. Let's set this up. So I'm not sure what this Demir deck is going to be, but we're going to find out together. I honestly don't know. Diving in.
Craig. Yep. Get a 19. No get. Manners of Karlov, mana.
All right, Mario joins us back on the left with Demir. Audrey moves to the right with Orzhov.
This.
Okay.
Looks like Mario has taken a mulligan. I just realized we did see these players play against each other earlier on today's stream. This is from a different event on a different day. Tamio on turn 1. Swords on Tamio.
I will pass. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Wow, people are laughing in the background. That's not good. Battlefield Strix is in.
I'll get it.
Thoughtseize. Ponder, Murktide, Bowmaster, Wasteland. So this looks more like Dimir Tempo.
I'll play Chromox.
Yes.
Mario's been playing some decks similar to Dimir Murktide in Modern. Thoughtseize has some choices here. Gonna go for Ponder. I like that choice.
Feel free to use.
Audrey's deck not too worried about Bowmaster. All right, so a Ponder off the top for Mario. I believe that's what the MTGO people call the Thoughtseize glitch.
Yep. Ouch.
Okay, that's the Dark Ritual. Yep. 2. That's 3 black.
Baraglyph gets dazed. Baraglyph is countered. Looks like we're going for Murktide Regent. It will resolve. It has 3 +1/+1 counters on it. 6/6 Murktide. Not too bad for Mario.
So take me to Storm 3, but it's going to exile 3.
Yes.
So it's
Yeah, you get those.
Overlord of the Belmark getting impended here. There it is.
How many cards in your hand?
5. Just 3.
I'll shuffle. This is tricky.
So Overlord of the Belmark is in. Milled 4 cards. Emperor of Bone Solitude were put into the graveyard. Are you thinking about what to return here, I think, still? Or was something picked up already that I missed? Nope, chose Solitude. That makes sense.
That was very interesting.
Like the main engines are like Sonic Creation.
Okay, passing the turn back to Mario. Mario still has the Baleful Strix, still has the Murktide. Both are attacking. Audrey says no blocks. Oh, did we forget to remove a counter from the Belmark? It looks like that happened. So Audrey's been playing this deck online quite a bit. And shifting over to paper, some of these Belmark triggers are getting missed. Audrey was telling us about that. We were all out. It was like 15 to 20 of us out for food and drinks after FNM last week. Link to Dust happening here.
Sure. I'm at 12. It's like a man.
Anyway, we're out for food and drinks, and the topic of missing impending triggers came up. Audrey was feeling a little frustrated about that. It was taking some getting used to. Yeah, because if you haven't played these cards in other formats, it feels new in paper. Thoughtseize on the stack. Iron, thank you for those. Resub 13 months. Appreciate that.
Flash and Brazen Borrower.
Sorry, give me a second. This is actually.
Flashing in Brazen Borrower as a creature. Bowmaster. Okay, one of the Bowmasters is chosen, goes to the trash. Shadowy Backstreet Cervelle. Mills a Boggart Trawler into the graveyard. Solitude, pitch Solitude. Coast is clear. Get rid of that Murktide. I like that.
5? Last turn.
All right, end step. Remember the impending trigger. Down to 4 now is the Bellmark, Belful Strix, Crack of Fetch.
You did get the land though. This is the second turn.
I'll hit your scrub wave.
Cast lines that down.
Scrubbling gets blown up. Attack it for 4. Audrey drops to 6. Audrey in some trouble here. Mildly interesting. We were out like 15, 20 of us for food and drinks, as I mentioned a moment ago. And I asked basically everybody, who do you lose to the most? Like, which player in our community do you feel like you have the worst record against? And I got the most answers for, like, almost everybody said somebody different, but I got the most answers for Herman and Dave Kaplan. So that was mildly interesting.
Yep, Storm.
Fourth and home reach.
Attack.
Players in our community feel like they have the worst records against those two. Emperor of Bones gets blown up by a fail push. Impending counters are 3 now on the Bellmark, 2 Belful Strix. Skyclave Apparition.
I show them, I'll draw no cards, and then you have 7 turns.
7, which exile proper tokens for apologies. This will be my treasures.
Yasu says I always beat this guy named Chris Benucci. Yeah. Yep.
This is not what you think it is.
Never in a million years could I play that.
That's why I'm like, should I be trying to go off or like, could I just chill?
My answer, if anybody cares, who I have the worst record against, I am like 1-30 against Yosef.
To draw anything in the shuffle.
4, 5, 6.
That was my answer.
Yep. Okay.
Yosef beats me every freaking time. Here's another impending Overlord of the Bellmark. Milling 4 cards. One of them was Ketramos, one of them was Felia. Those are the creatures.
Yeah,
There was also a Swords to Plowshares there. Looks like Emperor of Bones might be the choice. Thinking about it. Maybe Felia. Yep, Felia instead. Felia gets cast. Remembering the Bellmark impending triggers that time. Face down card on Mario's side is a 1/1 Arc Army. No counter on it. Seeing some blocks. Another Bowmaster flashed in.
1 damage here.
Trades. You got a 2/2.
Right. Yeah, I think it's probably game.
Okay, the die now on Mario's side represents an illusion. Okay, it just went away, I guess. I don't know what happened there. Yasu in the chat says, I don't think I've ever won a match versus Hank Zong. Yeah, Hank is a tough opponent for sure.
This is wild. I'll use 2 mana. This will be at 5. Storm 3. I'll use.
It was kind of interesting going around the room, so to speak, asking everybody, who do you think you have the worst record against? And everybody named somebody different. Another interesting phenomenon is that every single person thinks they have a bad record on camera, which is not mathematically possible.
Sorry, Storm is. Right, I have no idea what I'm doing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
That's just not possible, but that's what people think.
Okay.
Your setup is beautiful.
I usually use an app, to be honest, but my phone's gonna die, so.
All right, sounds like both players kept 7. Turn 1 Tamio for Mario, who's on the play. Caracas, pass the turn. Bounces Tamio before combat.
Probably have a really good.
Brainstorm in response there could have been pretty good. Wasteland on Caracas, replay Tamio, I assume.
I mean, yeah. For full disclosure, I only run 2 Majak, but like I have
Okay, Witch Enchanter comes in face down as a land, swords on Tamio. The Witch Blessed Meadow.
Kill him more?
I'll take 2 more.
Another Tamio.
Family?
I'm gonna mulligan this.
I'll try. Yes.
That's for the red.
1, 6.
Another impending Overlord of the Belmark. Milled some cards. There was an Overlord in there which you cannot return. Felia, Bowmaster, White Orchid Phantom. Bowmaster's chosen. That seems like a good choice.
Yeah. I forgot the trigger. Yeah. I need to practice. No, okay. Because I need to bring this to a tournament and I keep missing it. I think I miss it in every match.
All right, Audrey holding himself to the miss trigger on the impending Overlord of the Belmark. Audrey pointing out, I got to start remembering those. Switching decks can sometimes be tricky in paper. Forget some triggers. It's sometimes a little bit easier online because the computer does it for you. Can't really miss your impending trigger. Can't really miss your chalice trigger, and so on. Skyclave Apparition. That could be a way to beat Tamio.
I'll get.
Trigger. I'll fatal push it.
Alright, we're doing it.
I'll have 1/1.
You still have a clue.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So the die showing a 1 is the illusion. The illusion attacks. Baleful Strix gets cast. Draw a card off that. Audrey has that Bowmaster in hand.
Although if you pick it, you'll know.
It's important.
No, 13. Gotta get this.
It's on that one. 13.
So ball in the graveyard.
You didn't run that out. Okay.
Okay, I believe the player has pointed out that Audrey is at 13. Phone hasn't been updated yet. Here's a Thoughtseize. Baleful Strix, Fatal Push, Bowmaster. Looks like Dismember and Brazen Bar revealed. Interesting hand. What's the most problematic here?
Crack lines out damage for 3.
Uh-huh.
Echo Bounce.
Really?
Cast it
Interesting.
from
So what did you gamble for, out of curiosity?
LED.
What happens and if I hit it, then you still have 3 mana?
I think it wouldn't have worked if you got. Oh yeah. I just gambled first, so I was like statistically likely to.
Fatal Push is selected by. Fatal Push is selected by Thoughtseize.
5 right now?
Yeah.
Ooh.
We're gonna get lucky.
You have
Okay, a Bog comes in. Tapped. White Orchid Phantom now. Blows up Underground Sea. Mario has a chance to search for a basic. Overload of the Belmark removes a counter.
5 out of 6 is pretty good.
That's why I said for science with 3 lands with these.
9, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, I like my other hand.
See, it's a little. Okay.
Sounds like people are comboing off at the next table. Mario draws for turn. Brainstorm. Audrey's tapped out, so the Bowmaster's stuck in hand. Safe Brainstorm.
Okay.
2 cards, right?
Burn
3
Cavern.
cards.
Yeah.
I'll thought so.
Mario also had that Fatal Push. Is that still there? Yeah. Oh, I hate when I like lose track of stuff. It sounds like there's a lot of laughing in the background. I mean, this is supposed to be a serious tournament.
Yep.
The fucked up part is I sideboarded 2 mind traps.
The one creature on Mario's side is an illusion created by Skyclave Apparition. It's that, like, what do you even call those? Whiteboard card. Basic Island gets dug up. Nope.
That's
How you know about it?
Underground Sea.
Team.
I have a vision where you play the night.
Surveil. Oh, I should have done that.
Just sack this player.
That's fine.
Well, okay.
So I guess.
All right. Second clue. While Audrey no longer has Bowmaster mana. Pass the turn. White Orchid Phantom playing some defense.
One that doesn't look like a fucking land. Remember when lands had like a land color?
Pending?
Yep.
Okay, here's Overlord of the Belmark. Impending. Mills Bowmaster, Ketramos, Solitude, Prismatic Vista. Gonna return the Solitude.
Great. Alright, surveil.
Pass the turn.
Yep.
Tricky.
Yep.
I guess I'm also gonna surveil.
So 2 and 4 as far as impending count on these 2 Overlords. Overlord of the Belmark, such a cool card for Legacy, my opinion.
You have how many cards in hand? 4?
Yeah.
What could you possibly have in there?
Wasteland.
Alright, I'm gonna bottom this.
Thinking about Wastelanding. Hits the Scrubland. I don't think it makes sense to go after the other ones because they could be returned somehow. Because they're creatures. Ogre's Bowmaster flashed in. Gonna kill the illusion. Get the kind of bad token off the board. Amass.
Well, therapy.
Bowmaster now for Mario. The only way to be a Bowmaster is to have your own Bowmaster, as all of you know.
Veil Summer.
Yeah, the only thing that made sense. Land. Yeah. That's the only thing that makes any sense.
Bad token comes back. This time it's an Orc army.
To save time, I'm cracking it. I'm getting Commercial District. I'm gonna shuffle and
Pass turn
surveil.
triggers.
Yep, so you got
All right, going to the end step. Removing those impending counters. 1 and 3 now. Once those things become creatures, they're pretty scary. Belfast Strix will play decent defense though, but Solitude most likely will be able to deal with that. We'll see.
Go to combat.
Attacking with everybody. Aggro.
Block like this. Still attackers.
This is riveting. Gas Mox Opal.
Sure.
Pass.
18. Yeah, stop that from the one. You got 8 million mana, I have 8 million mana.
Disruptor Flute getting flashed in after blocks. White Orchid Phantom, block Belfast Strix. 1/1 Orc Army, block Bowmaster.
I don't have it. Go?
Kaito was named. Audrey kind of making a prediction about what could happen here.
Here we go.
Murktide Regent.
Oh yeah, you got the... Do you want to do Storm?
You can use mine.
Audrey pointing out, did you spot the issue? I cast Flute and blockers so they could cast Kaido in response with ninjutsu, actually. I should cast Flute first and go to blockers. Maybe.
Ritual, Storm 2.
Oh, I can even count it for you, actually. If you trust me, I can count it.
Sure.
Don't they have to you have to wait until they blocked, right? Like you can't ninjutsu. Wait. I don't know.
I bounce your Lotus Battles of LEDs. What am I getting for that?
you might just draw them, but the other hand takes you off for 6 mana.
Ouch.
You're just gonna sack him. There's no reason why you wouldn't sack him. You just have 6 mana. So
But can you ninjutsu like during declare attacker's step? Yeah, you don't think. Yeah, Mr. Arch is right. You don't get priority until the blockers are declared. As soon as blockers are assigned, the creature is unblocked, so they can ninjutsu. Yeah, you had blocked already.
Storm is 3, yeah. I'm storming up, alright. You have.
I guess I'm not seeing how you would do it the other way, Audrey, because you can't. They can't ninjutsu before blockers during the declare blockers step, and the creature has to not be blocked. Can you ninjutsu in declare attacker's step? I thought you can't do that. Wait a minute. I'm getting myself all confused now.
Sorry, in 2, I'm gonna get the echo.
And then crack for 3 blue, and then
Crack
cast.
for 3 blue, so I have 3 blue, cast already,
Echoing
storm
Truth?
was 1.
I thought you have to ninjutsu after blockers have been declared. Why am I thinking that? Am I messing this all up?
And 2, Echo and Truth, LED. Sorry,
Okay, so it is 5.
it's 5, and I'll crack this with that in the stack. Go to another.
Okay, reanimate brings back Ketchermos. Solitude picturing Ketchermos.
And you said you have 1 mana?
2 green mana.
2 green mana.
I'm representing that here.
Yeah. Let's see.
All right, we'll see what the YouTube commenters think about all the ninjutsu situation. I think I messed up the explanation.
Okay. Can I get the Tamiya?
Solitude removes Tamio.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Keith, $1 million question. Did I put it on this turn? I think the answer is no.
I don't think you did.
Alright, so,
Yeah, the YouTube commenters might go crazy.
That's alright, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll take 2.
Step trigger.
Sometimes I go. Actually, yeah. If I'm moving in, yeah, it would be hard. If I had it,
Okay, Fatal Push takes out White Orchid Phantom.
use
Ketchermos remains. Children's Edict. Bounce Ketchermos with Caracas in response. Good play here by Audrey.
Oh, okay.
Cabal therapy.
All right. Seems like Mario missed that possibility. Ketchermos will be recast here.
1 and
Ruler of the Bellmark becomes a creature. Mario is in serious trouble.
yeah. Trigger Bowmasters.
Let's leave it on. Let's leave this on the stack.
Yeah.
Otherwise we'll forget. Okay, trigger Bowmasters.
Trigger Bowmasters. So
Petty Theft on Disruptor Flute on end step. Okay. Recast it.
4, you're at 12.
This is an adventure, right?
Yeah, that's an adventure.
Brazen Bar is on an adventure.
Go 1 shot.
I gotta remember what
those cards, man.
Goes to another
We're
break.
totally at a different place. No, you're
Storm is 9.
Caracas.
This
It's
goes
like,
to 7.
I don't like this out.
I just had a totally different mind. It's like the second time this happened. I just don't know the cards.
It's all because of the art.
Too bad. Yeah, I think you got it anyways, but
Gotta have, you see, folks, you have to have every version of every card memorized. I told you that. Some of you didn't listen. And look what happens. That is the match. Audrey gets it. Kaido stuck. GG's. GG's. Wow. Ether Drift. Ether Drift, everybody. Did they test it? Urza and a mech. Believable. Realistic. Makes sense. Works for me. Wagons with multiple wheels and magical, in air quotes, engines. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Not realistic. Doesn't seem possible. Getting lore dissonance. It's all ruined. It's all ruined, chat. We're going to Tarkir next. That should be fun. Tarkir is a good plane. It feels realistic. It feels magical. And, I don't know. It's exciting. Yeah. Stick around for a raid, everybody. I'll see everybody soon. Join the Discord if you're not in the Discord. It's a good place to hang out and find out when we will be streaming next. I'll see everybody soon. Peace out.